And now I would invite Ocean to share her views on the diet and nutrition and why food is the energy. You know, we are still this discussion is left.
So,
Yeah.
you've heard a lot from the experts about food. What I would like to just add here is it's not only when you're preparing food that you don't feel anger or any of the other so-called negative emotions. It's also trying to ensure that when you're eating, that you're in a very happy space or a calm and peaceful space, because that helps your metabolism really absorb all the nutrients from the food that you take. So when we have any disease, we are always looking at particular aspects of our body which we want to improve. So it could be, okay, we want to improve our immune system, or the digestive system, or our lungs and the lung capacity and things like that. And then we look up foods which are very good for that particular uh, disease that we have, for instance. So what I would say is, every time, if you have a particular disease, it's just, if you hold the intention, I have cancer, breast cancer or prostate cancer, is whatever food I'm ingesting, let it all the nutrients help in just healing this condition of mine. And that would help. That is definitely going to help. That's the energetic aspect, because our thoughts and emotions are so very powerful. And I always say that they're so powerful that you would be amazed at the changes you can bring up and bring about in your life and yourself if you change your thoughts and emotions. So to briefly, come down to that thing which all doctors say is, okay, reduce stress. Any disease you have, any illness in the body, everybody will say, okay, reduce stress. And that, according to me, is any fear-based thought. So any stress, it's worry, it's depression, it's pain, it's sorrow. All these things are stress-causing. So the whole movement of, for example, that question that somebody brought up, that how do we stop the aging process? How can we avoid having to go in and out of hospitals at the end of our lives? How can we avoid being dependent on other people at the end of our lives because we can't move or we are in so much pain? How do we avoid pain at the end of our lives? And I think these are very, very valid questions, and it's all comes from the root cause. The root cause is that our bodies are literally the thoughts we feed them and the emotions we feed them. So whatever we are feeling and thinking is making the body what it is, either pain-filled, disease-filled, or it can be a very healthy, vibrant, buoyant body. Depending on our thoughts and emotions, it's all a movement of fear into love, of what is so-called, what is called negative into the so-called positive. And there is no reason whatsoever that you would ever get if you would that movement, which sometimes takes several years, but your body starts responding almost immediately. So that would be a big benefit, is that movement. And let's take some questions.
So one of the question is regarding the gluten diet, that it's is gluten totally bad? You know what I can understand from the question, that should everybody avoid gluten, or it is only who have gluten sensitivity or allergy like celiac disease, they should avoid gluten. So who wants to take this? Madam Gauri, are you there?
Okay, yeah, I'm right here. You want me to answer?
Yeah.
Can you hear? You want me to answer?
Yeah. Yes, yes.
For
I think
everybody
others should please. Yeah.
to go off
Yeah.
gluten is necessary. People who are intolerant or allergic, it becomes necessary. But also what we need to understand is we have native form of wheat. Indian native, each state has their own varieties of native form, and we need to buy this native wheat, and not by the hybridized wheat, which has double the quantity of protein, which is gluten. So I always advise, and don't stick to one particular grain. Use all the grains, whole grains. No, use unpolished rice or millets and wheat, everything in different capacities. Then you will not be sticking to one particular thing. But in the West, when you say that gluten-free diet made a whole difference, it is all because they eat a lot of processed bakery foods. Did I answer your question?
So what I gather is that we should try to substitute, gluten laden. So wheat, rye, and barley. These are gluten laden grains, and we should try to substitute with other grains. And it is another issue is that the protein content of other grains is better than wheat, and also the content of other micronutrients is also much better than wheat, not only
Yes.
gluten. So it makes
Right.
good sense to include a lot of millets in the diet, right?
Yes. And they're also unpolished millets. Everything has to be unprocessed. That's the whole point.
Unprocessed. Yeah, unprocessed. So
Can
any
I
other
ask a
question?
question? Yeah. So I just want to ask from Dr. Gauri. So what is intermittent fasting and how we can practice it and how it is helpful for curing the illnesses, if at all it is helpful?
Okay.
Intermittent fasting.
See, any type of fasting for that matter basically gives rest to the gut. When there is rest for the gut, naturally it is rest for the pancreas also. So that is what heals you, repairs you, and rejuvenates you. Not just in diabetes, any disease for that matter. Fasting gives rest to the gut, and that in turn will help us heal. Intermittent fasting, you are giving rest to the gut for a period of 14 to 16 hours. That is, you do an early dinner and push your breakfast a little faster. In Nature Cure, this early morning hours is called the phase for elimination. So when it is the elimination phase, it's not wise to consume. So early morning from the sunrise to noon, it is elimination phase. So to keeping it fasting or pushing your breakfast farther or even keeping your breakfast lighter helps. And this is why intermittent fasting also helps. And traditionally, if you see in India, all of us ate like that. It is just this generation and probably last generation which has started eating at 7 o'clock in the morning. Otherwise, we always, intermittent fasting, we might not know the word, but most of us did that in India.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Gauri.
And any particular diet for PCOD patients? Those who have, women, especially young women have PCOD. Anything particularly can be done for that? Yeah.
You want to answer? Yeah. The very first thing probably for all diseases, not just PCOD, PCOS, thyroid diseases, everything related to your hormones. First thing is to stop hormones coming from outside. Where are you getting these hormones from? Animal products, including dairy and dairy products. So stopping all animal products will stop animal hormones coming into our body. And today's animal agriculture is very pathetic. So these animals are highly stressed, and their stress hormones are at the highest potency when they get slaughtered. So that hormones will stop coming into our bodies. And of course, for the greed of the man, there is no end. We seem to add a lot of chemical hormones to make a quick buck. So, for example, if you look at a native Indian cow, it gives 2 to 3 liters of milk for maybe 200 days in a year. But a dairy cow will give you 40 to 60 liters of milk every single day, 65 days. How? Because they pump in oxytocin and some white toxin is released. So exactly like that, if you want to stop other hormones coming into my system and playing havoc with my hormones, I need to stop animal hormones. So stop all animal products is the first solution. Second, increase all the micronutrients. How do you increase micronutrients? By keeping the fiber intact in all the foods, that is unprocessed foods, and stop all the unhealthy foods. All your hormonal imbalances will get corrected, and you will get healed out of any hormonal issues, including PCOS.
Yeah,
एक चीज
great.
मैं भी ऐड करना चाहता
So
हूँ.
another question is, राकेश जी बताइए.
ये हॉर्मोन्स हमारे ना डिस्टर्ब के बहुत सारे केमिकल्स भी करते हैं जो हमारे फूड के साथ हमारे अंदर जाते हैं. वर्ल्ड हेल्थ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की वेबसाइट पे आप देखिए एंडोक्राइन डिस्टर्बर्स WHO लिखिए गूगल पे, और एंडोक्राइन डिस्टर्बर्स EPA इन्वायरमेंट प्रोटेक्शन एजेंसी जो अमेरिका की है लिखिए, तो पूरी लिस्ट आएगी. उस लिस्ट में सबसे ऊपर होगा प्लास्टिक, जो बिस्फिनॉल A और डायोक्सिन और ये सारा जो हम भोजन खाते हैं, फ्रिज में पानी रखा प्लास्टिक की बोतल में, लंच बॉक्स हमारा जो ऑफिस लेके जाते हैं वो प्लास्टिक, घर में प्लास्टिक में इतने फूड, प्लास्टिक में इतने केमिकल्स हैं. जब प्लास्टिक को हीट किया जाता है, माइक्रोवेव में हम हीट करते हैं, या फ्रिज में हम जब उसको ठंडा करते हैं पानी, कोई भी अपने फूड को या पानी को, तो वो लीच कर जाते हैं उसमें. तो वो बहुत बड़े एंडोक्राइन डिस्टर्बर्स हैं. और दूसरे जो पेस्टिसाइड्स और ये सारे केमिकल्स हैं, ये भी एंडोक्राइन डिस्टर्बर्स हैं. थैंक यू.
Right. Thanks so much for adding
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, absolutely. So another question is ki in cancer, what foods to be avoided and what foods to be taken in? So broadly, not only for cancer, for healthful living and for all the diseases, we are absolutely for raw fruits and vegetables. So a lot of content of our food should be raw fruits and vegetables and whole unprocessed, so with their skin intact wherever possible. That should be the norm. And a lot of good hygienic drinking water should be there. And avoid, of course, tobacco, smoking, alcohol, processed sugars, and high glycemic index foods, cakes, pastries, biscuits, bakery, all this. So somebody has disturbance. Please keep it mute. Madhavji, please keep it mute. Yeah. So avoid all kinds of processed foods. So the biscuits hai, bakery and cakes, pastries, burgers, pizzas, so all these things are definitely going to be, these are high glycemic index and will create problems. And these are devoid of vitamins and minerals. So take a lot of raw fruits, vegetables, and include more of turmeric, broccoli, cabbage, mushrooms, beetroot, lettuce, spinach, and your kheera, kheera, kakadi, tori. So all these green vegetables, a good portion of the food should be, vegetables and bell peppers. So all these things are good for health. So please include this more and more. All right. And Madhav wants to ask a question now. He can be unmuted.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. So am I audible?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, Dr. Sachin, thanks for your wonderful session. I have a question. Like most of us understand that the processed food is bad for our health, whatever. But we are surrounded with all kind of processed food, like bakery, processed food, and we somehow able to control ourselves not to eat. This is not healthy for us. But it's very difficult to educate children about it. Like they see advertisement daily, they meet their friends, they say that we went to McDonald's, we had that kind of treat, that food is very good. I mean, how to control our own urge for own craving for this kind of food, and how to educate the children and not to have this kind of.
Very right question. I think, Ocean, I request you to answer this question. Are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, what happens is, I think if you're very, very strict with your children and say, okay, everything has to stop, no McDonald's, no pastries, no nothing, it's going to be, they're going to react against it, because you can't keep an eye on them all the time. In fact, if you're very strict with them, they will take, they will try to do it slyly. So it's better to just say that, yeah, you could have your cake, you could have sometimes a burger, and limit that, and explain to your children, communicate with them why it's important, what is the, benefit of not only taste, but of nutrition. So you're kind of balancing both. You're saying, yeah, I understand that taste is wonderful, but let's also look at the nutrition. And then, like you've done, Dr. Sachin, is use various other types of grains for your dosas and for whatever else. Doing things like that, which will make food interesting, it's fine. It's just a little bit of a balance, and children will listen if you don't put a complete ban on such things.
So I think over controlling may be counterproductive, and the children may be, secretly eating all this stuff. So we have to do it in moderation, and maybe fix up one day a month for a cheat diet where all this junk food can be, we can have these things in moderation. So a little bit of enjoyment is, of course, associated with the junk food, and we can have sometimes, but of course not make it a daily norm. Fix up some date for some, 1 day a month for a cheat diet. That could be a good way of doing it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Another question is about how to choose the oil we should use. So what kind of oil is good for cooking?
मैं जवाब देना चाहता हूँ इसका.
Yes, राकेश जी, go ahead.
ऑयल के ऊपर मैंने बहुत स्टडी की, बहुत सारे सैंपल्स ऑयल के मार्केट से खरीद के लेबोरेटरियों से टेस्ट कराए. यही मोहाली आता रहा, PBTI लैब मोहाली से. तो मैंने देखा कि जो रिफाइंड ऑयल्स हैं, डॉक्टर SC मनचंदा को ने काफी स्टडी की है ऑयल्स के ऊपर, कुकिंग ऑयल्स के ऊपर. कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट थे वो एम्स में, अब वो सर गंगाराम हॉस्पिटल में है कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट. उन्होंने 4 साल वहाँ एम्स में कुछ डॉक्टरों ने मिलके वहाँ और कुकिंग ऑयल्स पे स्टडी की. तो ऐसा है, हमें ऑयल की रिक्वायरमेंट किस चीज के लिए है? हमें साइंस कहती है कि हमें 2 फैटी एसिड चाहिए, लिनोनिक और अल्फा लिनोनिक, omega-6 और omega-3. बाकी सारे फैटी एसिड हमारी बॉडी खुद सिंथेसिस कर लेगी उनसे. ये हमें 2 चाहिए जो एसेंशियल है. तो ये जो हम एनिमल फैट, जो कोई कहता है देसी गाय का घी, उसका घी, देशी का घी, ये मतलब इनमें ये दोनों जो एसेंशियल फैटी एसिड है बहुत कम मात्रा में होते हैं, उनमें सैचुरेटेड फैट ज्यादा होता है. ये पॉली अनसैचुरेटेड फैटी एसिड है. तो पॉली अनसैचुरेटेड फैटी एसिड ना डबल बॉन्ड है, जैसे मोनो अनसैचुरेटेड में सिंगल बॉन्ड है, पॉली अनसैचुरेटेड में मोर देन 1 बॉन्ड है, 2 और सैचुरेटेड में ज्यादा बॉन्ड होते हैं. तो जो डबल बॉन्ड है पॉली अनसैचुरेटेड फैटी एसिड में, ये बहुत कमजोर होता है और ये टूटता है. जरा सी इसको एनर्जी चाहिए, रोशनी, जरा सी रोशनी, सनलाइट, हीट, मतलब क्लोरोफिल, किसी से भी ये टूट जाता है. और जहां ये ब्रेकडाउन होता है वहीं पर ऑयल सारा वो मतलब समझ लो उसकी ऑक्सीडेशन हो जाती है, ऑक्सीजन के कांटेक्ट में आता है. तो इसकी 1 मंथ लाइफ होती है ऑयल की. कोई भी ऑयल हो खाना, ये दूसरी बात है, सबसे पहले ऑयल फ्रेश होना चाहिए जहां से निकलता है. जैसे पुराने जमाने में लोग अपनी सरसों ले जाते थे, सरसों का तेल निकलवा लाए कोल्लू से, तिल ले जाते थे, तिल का तेल निकलवा लाए. तो अब आजकल ऐसे ही जैसे खेती विरासत मिशन जगह जगह अपने वो आउटलेट कुदरत हट खोले हैं, तो इन्होंने लुधियाना में हमने वहां लगाया है कोल्ड प्रेस्ड ऑयल निकालने का, फ्रेश ऑयल. हमने अपने जैन मंदिर में भी लगाया है. तो हमने देखा जब कोल्ड प्रेसिंग ऑयल की करते हैं उसमें पॉलीफिनोल्स और ये फाइटोस्टेरोल्स होते हैं ऑयल में, जो कोलेस्ट्रॉल के उल्ट काम करते हैं. जैसे कोलेस्ट्रॉल है वो सिर्फ जिन एनिमल्स के लीवर होते हैं वही कोलेस्ट्रॉल बनाते हैं. तो दूध में कोलेस्ट्रॉल होता है, घी में, मक्खन में, दही में, मीट में, अंडे में, सब में. लेकिन प्लांट फूड किसी में कोलेस्ट्रॉल नहीं होता. इसमें फाइटोस मतलब प्लांट स्टीरोल्स होते हैं. तो प्लांट स्टीरोल्स कोलेस्ट्रॉल की रीअब्जॉर्प्शन जो इंटेस्टाइन में होती है उसको रोकते हैं, प्लांट स्टीरोल्स. लेकिन जब हम रिफाइनिंग ऑयल की करते हैं वो सारे निकल जाते हैं, सारे कुछ बस खाली फैटी मुफा पूफा सैचुरेटेड फैटी एसिड ये रहेंगे और सारा कुछ बाकी निकल जाता है रिफाइनिंग में. तो उसको 2 बार हीट किया जाता है ऑयल को. कई तो सीड्स को पहले हीट करना पड़ता है, जैसे कुछ सीड ऐसे हैं जिनका डायरेक्ट ऑयल नहीं निकलता, तो उनको सीड को हीट करते हैं, फिर ऑयल को दोबारा हीट करते हैं 250 डिग्री पे उसको कलरलेस ऑर्डरलेस बनाने के लिए। तो जो 250 डिग्री पे हीट करते हैं ना, तब वहां उसमें ट्रांस फैट पैदा हो जाते हैं और साथ में एक्रेलामाइड्स पैदा हो जाते हैं जो कार्सिनोजेन है। अभी कैंसर के ऊपर क्वेश्चन पूछा था, तो कुकिंग ऑयल्स का बहुत बड़ा रोल है हार्ट डिजीजेस को पैदा करने में, डायबिटीज में और कैंसर में। नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन में हमने राइट टू इंफॉर्मेशन एक्ट के अंदर जानकारी मांगी थी कि आपने एनिमल स्टडीज, उन्होंने, मेरे को पता चला था कि वहां की है ट्रांस फैट को लेके, तो उन्होंने बताया कि हमने ट्रांस फैट जो आर्टिफिशियल फैट है जो रिफाइंड ऑयल्स में भी पैदा हो जाता है हीट टेम्परेचर हाई होने के कारण, तो हमने जानवर को एनिमल एक्सपेरिमेंट में मदर को थोड़ी मात्रा में ट्रांस फैट खिलाया रोज, थोड़ी मात्रा में, लेकिन जो उनके बच्चे हुए उनको नहीं खिलाया। लेकिन जैसे ही वो बच्चे बड़े और जवान हुए तो उनको इंसुलिन रेजिस्टेंस डेवलप हो गई और जवानी में पूरे तरह वो डायबिटीज होगी, वो इरिवर्सिबल डायबिटीज थी। अब देखो उन्होंने कंट्रोल ग्रुप रखा एक जिनको नहीं खिलाया, एक दूसरा ग्रुप रखा एक्सपेरिमेंटल ग्रुप जिसमें खिलाया, अब मदर ने खाया और बच्चे को डायबिटीज हो रही है। तो देखो कितना मतलब ट्रांस फैट घातक है, जीन्स को प्रभावित कर रहा है। तो आप कोई भी कंपनी की ब्रांडेड की किसी भी की भी चॉकलेट उठा के देखिए, उसमें लिखा होगा ट्रांस फैट और 40% शुगर हो गई और एडवर्टीजमेंट होगी गिफ्ट फॉर समवन यू लव। तो भला कैसे ये प्यार का गिफ्ट कैसे हो गया ये घातक और बीमारी पैदा करने वाला। तो कुकिंग ऑयल ऐसा होना चाहिए जो फ्रेश हो, कोल्ड प्रेस्ड हो। और डॉक्टर एस.सी. मनचंदा ने अपनी स्टडीज में देखा कि मस्टर्ड ऑयल जिसमें वो जो ओमेगा 6 और ओमेगा 3 की अच्छी रेशो है दोनों की, लेकिन जो ओमेगा 6 है वो जैसे टूटता है पॉलीअनसैचुरेटेड फैट है, तो ओमेगा 3 उससे भी ज्यादा सेंसिटिव है, हीट सेंसिटिव। तो इसको फ्राइंग नहीं करनी चाहिए मस्टर्ड ऑयल में, ऐसे सब्जी में या ऐसे डाल के आप लिमिटेड इस्तेमाल कर सकते हो। लेकिन जिसको हार्ट डिजीज रिवर्स करना है तो उसको जीरो ऑयल कुकिंग करें तो बेटर है। दो तरह की डाइटरी रिकमेंडेशंस है, एक आपकी वजन कम करना है, कोलेस्ट्रॉल कम करना है, हल्की फुल्की आपको तकलीफ है तो उसमें आप ये कोल्ड प्रेस्ड ऑयल इस्तेमाल कर सकते हो। लेकिन आपको क्रोनिक इलनेस है, उसको आपको रिवर्स करना है, तो आपको जो चीजें नुकसान करती हैं वो बंद करनी चाहिए पड़ेंगी। और जो हीलिंग फूड्स है जैसे मैंने सारे बताए, छोटे छोटी चीजें, ये कलरफुल रेनबो कलर खाने चाहिए, 5 कलर। पहला कलर है ब्लैक और पर्पल, दूसरा रेड, तीसरा है येलो और ऑरेंज, चौथा है ग्रीन, पांचवा व्हाइट। ये 5 कलर के फ्रूट्स, वेजिटेबल्स, ये दालें अलग अलग रंग की, कोई माँ की दाल है, काली मूंग है, हरे, ये सारे खाने चाहिए। और कुकिंग ऑयल हमें फ्रेश इस्तेमाल करने चाहिए। डॉक्टर एस.सी. मनचंदा के अनुसार इंडियन कुकिंग के लिए मस्टर्ड ऑयल बेस्ट है, कोल्ड प्रेस्ड।
Yeah, I think Rakesh ji, I think let's keep it short. I think we need another webinar on oils actually because it's such a vast topic. तो बहुत डेप्थ में हमें कवर करना पड़ेगा दोबारा से। So to cut it short, मतलब we need to have freshly prepared cold pressed oils from a plant source and locally available चीजों से। Mustard is also good, coconut is also good, and olive is also good. So there are a lot of sources. And I think in the interest of time, because we have already gone beyond our time actually, and I thank everybody who has been with us throughout this webinar, and especially our guest Madam Gauri and Rakesh Jain ji. And I thank Oshan, Dr. Shweta, Nimre, Nitesh is helping us with organizing all this. And we still have few questions left, but we won't be able to cover in this session. Maybe we have to keep for sometime next. And you can individually SMS us, mail us, join our we have a holistic healing group forum where you can join us and to know more about our activities, because we continue doing a lot of such webinars and activities during this time. And we'll try to answer rest of the questions individually or maybe in one of the next webinars.